Now, here's the background behind this tutorial. This is not the strongest braid to mono knot because I say it is. It was proven by science in 2018 by the IGFA. They used their electromechanical tension tester. They tested over 50 knots to see which one was the strongest braid to mono or braid to fluoro knot. And guess what? It was not the FG knot. In fact, it was the simplest knots to tie. You can see at the top of the list, the GT knot is the strongest braid to monofilament knot on planet Earth. They used 50-pound braid to 80-pound mono, and they held it at a tension of 65 pounds. You can see how many different variations of the FG knot was tried and tested. It varied from them able to only hold the tension 54.8% of the time all the way up to the highest of 82.1% of the time. But the GT knot did not break and was able to hold the tension of 65 pounds 100% of the time. Let's get started right now on how to make this really easy, super easy braid to mono, braid to fluoro knot. Today I'll be using 25-pound Trilene Big Game monofilament as my leader, and from the main line I'll be using the braided Power Pro 30-pound test. Let's get started. Grab your leader line, and what you're going to do is you're going to cross it over and make a loop, and you're going to leave some tag length in that loop. You can see that the line is crossed over. There's the loop. There's where it's crossed over. And what you're simply going to do is wrap the line over the main line 2 times. 2 times. That's it. Wrap it twice. That's the way it should look. And then you will run the tag line back through the loop. Doesn't matter what side you come in. I just chose the top. And you're going to make a figure 8. That's the way the figure 8 looks like when you are done tying that. Then you will get your braided line, and you're going to run it through both loops of the figure 8. Down through one, up through the other. There you go, down through one, up through the other. Just like that. And that's the way it looks when you have made it through both the loops. Very next step we're going to do is we're going to wet the figure 8 with the braided line through it. This gives us a nice pull through down as we cinch it. And we'll pull it tight one more time as we cinch it. Alright, we are done with the monofilament portion of the GT knot. Now we're going to move into the braided line portion of the GT knot. And what you're going to want to do is you want to make sure you lay the braided line against the mono line. These next ties are going to happen with those lines together, side by side. You're going to make a loop. See how that's sitting against the mono, and we're going to take the tag line and we're going to run it through a total of 6 times. 1, it's wrapping around both lines together. 2, continue wrapping around both lines. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it's important that all this wrapping happens away from the mono knot that you have right there. Sometimes it's going to want to loop back over that mono, and that causes problems. So you want to make sure it is all to the right side of that mono knot. And now we're going to wet it, and we're simply going to pull the tag line of the braided fishing line. And you can see now there are 2 knots. Here is the fluorocarbon knot, and here is the monofilament knot. And what you're going to do is you're going to get both of the long ends. You're not going to touch the tags. You're going to grab the braided long end, and you're going to grab the monofilament long end, and you're going to cinch them down together. boom. The most strongest knot in the world is done. It's as simple as that. Last thing to do, as always, is trim your tags off. Both the mono and the braided tag you will trim off. We're going to do it close to the knot. Here goes the tag of the braid. Let's flip it around and get the monofilament tag. There we go. You can see that this knot is super strong. It's very easy to perform, and it's the strongest braid to mono knot on earth. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Join me next time when we excite the surf strike. God bless.